Okay, I think we are live. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Let's Chat series. I am Sharisa T, visionary of HR Ministries, and I coach LLC. That's what I was about to say. But thank you guys so much for joining, listening. Listen, we are live tonight. We have a special guest. If you have been rocking with us for the last few weeks, few months, actually, we have had several guests come on starting this summer where we were able to bring some people up just to talk about a variety of topics. And we have this queen coming back here on tonight. She is going to be talking about money. Yes, none other than Miss Queen Tiara. I am so excited that she is back with us. If you were with us a couple of years ago, I think it was, we did a series about money, and Tiara blessed us real good. And so I know that she's going to be a blessing to us on this evening. So, hey, if you are watching live, welcome again. I am Sharisa T, visionary of HR Ministries, and we are again here talking about money with Queen Tiara. I'm going to, first of all, let me make sure. I love to introduce people, and let's see who is in the comments. So I'm going to check Facebook from my phone. We are streaming live. Those of you who are listening to the replay, God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are grateful that you are able to join us on tonight. I like to see who's online. I like to shout people out. So again, thank y'all so much. We're excited about what God is getting ready to do, and what other way than to talk about money in this season. We know that we're in the Christmas holiday season. And oh, that's Serena. Hey, Serena. We are in the Christmas holiday season, and we know that it is time. Everybody is out shopping and doing a lot of things. And so we are excited about this conversation. So Tiara got us together a couple of years ago when we were talking about shopping around this time. Yeah, I see she over there smiling. She's over there smiling. So I already know that this conversation is going to be so good. Listen, before we get started and we jump in, if you would, please go ahead and like and share this video, tag a few people, get some people in the room. I believe that this is a conversation that needs to be had. I believe that this is a conversation that we need to talk about. Money is a very touchy subject, but it is something that we need to talk about. And a lot of things God has been just talking to me about, getting prepared and getting ready for what's next. And we want to be financially ready. Amen. Glory to God. So welcome again. Welcome. I am going to shoot this thing over to this amazing queen. Let her introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her, and then we're going to get this party started. I pass it to you.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. I do 100% appreciate you asking me to do this. I know during the time that we talked, man, I was in a place of, I was in a place of confusion. I had some things going on in my personal life. And so it just really, when you contacted me, you reached out to me and you told me you wanted me to do this, it really lifted my spirits. And I am so thankful that you thought about me among all of the wonderful people, that you're connected to, that you would invite me on to this webinar to be able to talk about this subject again. I just want to say hello, everybody, and I want to introduce myself. My name is Tiara Gibson. I am the founder of Bridging the Wealth Gap. The Wealth Gap. It is an organization that I started back in 2019. At the time, I had boots on the ground. I was in the local community, serving all areas, and helping people out like where they needed it the most. I think we did a conference back during that time. I think it was 2018, 2019, and that was an in-person conference, if I'm not mistaken, where we were talking about writing out the vision and making it plain. And, making changes as far as our finances were concerned. So by it being the month of December, we are in 2022. We're coming up. 2023 is fastly approaching. Time goes by so fast, right? We definitely want to start off the new year on the right track. And I know that during this time, everybody writes out their goals for the new year. Everybody writes out their aspirations, what it is that we want to do, what it is that we want to change. And so what I want to do is I just want to come in and I just want to give you some basic, very basic steps to just help get finances in order for the current year. Life happens. And it happens to everybody. That's me included. As I stated, I am going through some things right now myself. And it has just really made me hold in on why managing your money, why managing your finances are so important. As I said, we have to be in preparation. I had a mentor who used to always tell me success is where preparation meets opportunity. Okay, so we need to always, in everything, we need to prepare for the worst. Also, pray for the best. I'm not going to say hope, pray for the best. But also, just make sure we're following a system. We're being consistent when it comes to, our finances, our money, because everything depends on it. Our household depends on it. Our children depend on it. Our families, they depend upon us being able to manage. So I just want to be able to pour into everybody that's watching, everybody that's going to tune in later for the replay, just be able to pour into you all just a little bit, and then just be able to have a realistic conversation. Now, Teresa, listen, if you're like me, with most people, we don't like talking about money. Like it's not a part of our daily conversations. When we're talking to our girlfriends, when we're getting together, when it comes to, family gatherings and stuff, we oftentimes we leave out the conversation about, okay, well, how are things going financially for you? Or just having money conversations is what I call it. And so I want to break the mold on those type of conversations. I don't think there's anything wrong with accountability. And a lot of times we look to our friends, our family members to be, confident when it comes to everything else. So I say, why not allow the people that's closest to us, even if you can't afford a financial counselor, you can't afford a mentor, you can't afford an investment coach. Why not allow people that are closest to us, especially those individuals that may have more knowledge than what we have, to be an accountability partner, to just be, a mentor, to just have those conversations. So let's start in 2023 generalizing the conversation about money. The more that you talk about things, we often talk about what's wrong. Like, before we were on live and we were like, okay, hey, look, we're here. Things could always be better. Let's also start having the conversation around money topics. What it is that we can improve. Girl, what are you doing to do X, Y, and Z? Not conversations involving, debt and other things, but positive conversations where we can really grasp really good concepts and we can grow together. So with that being said, our first topic, or our first point, the first bullet point that I want to just kind of bring up and just really focus on is really tracking our spending and improving our finances with this current year coming up and fastly approaching. I always used to say, and whenever I used to sit down with my clients and we would have the conversation about money, we would have the conversation about their current situation, where they currently were as far as their spending was concerned. Most of those individuals, they never, and I have been guilty of this as well, before, they never really had a budget set in place. They never really knew where it is that their money was going. And I used to, not that it was like surprising, because throughout the time that you're going through the day-to-day, you're dealing with your home, you're dealing with your kids, you're dealing with all of these different things, you're dealing with work, when do we really have time to just sit down and just make a realistic chart or a visual and say, okay, here is where my money is going. So often we just may not have time. And so that is something that I want to bring to the forefront and encourage everyone to do. And you don't have to wait until January to start doing that. We're 5 days into December. Most people, they get paid either on a weekly basis, a bi-weekly basis, or a monthly basis.
Mhm.
Go ahead before you get paid, if you have paid, go ahead and start putting some things on paper. You don't have to have a fancy budget. You don't have to go out and buy anything. Just get you a regular piece of paper and open up your bank account, open up your spending report. I know a lot of the banks now, they even do categories to be able to help us to see where we're spending our money. But go ahead and open that up and put some things on paper and see where it is that your money is going. You can't know where you're going if you don't know what you're currently spending. So I think that is the very first step. And sometimes we like to skip the basics when it comes to getting our financial house in order. We're like, where do I start? What do I do, Lord? The first thing is to look at what you have currently coming in and track your finances. Where am I my money on a monthly basis? It's so basic, but so very important.
Yeah, Tiara, and as you were talking, I was just thinking about, like they say, the Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain. We sometimes think about writing the future or our dreams and stuff out and make those plain, but sometimes writing out our bills, writing out what we have to just tracking all of those things and listing those things is sometimes can be like a starting place for us to know what we owe, how much we owe, even who we owe. Getting on that credit report and looking at those things and just making sure that you have a clear picture of what it is that you do owe. Make that list, get that money. One of the things I've heard someone say is you can tell your money where to go. You tell it what to do instead of your money telling you what to do and where you need to put it. Sometimes we prioritize, we may spend too much at Starbucks, or we may spend too much at fast food, or we may shop too much in a certain area. Maybe we need to put a little extra money on this credit card bill, or maybe we need to put a little extra money here so that we can start paying some debts down. But we won't know that if we are not tracking and looking at our expenses and what we're spending our money on. And I love the fact that you mentioned about the banks, because they do give you like a snapshot of where your money has gone, how much you spend on food and all this type of stuff. And I think it's important that we all have a vision. I think that, even as we go into this new year, it's not for us to do then. It's something that we can, like you said, we're only 5 days in December. It's something that we can do right now. Like we can start looking at our money, what we have right now, and making a list and start tracking and making sure that we are making our money and using it wisely, because sometimes we may be we may need to cut the gaming out, or we may need to cut the spending out in one area so that we can meet this financial goal in another area. But we won't know that if we are not tracking. And so I listen, I'm all about making it plain, making it clear, putting it on. That's one of my verses, Habakkuk 2:2, make it plain, put it on tablets so that you can see what it is and that you can know where you go. Without a vision, people perish. And so if you don't have a financial vision for yourself, or you don't have a financial vision for your family, I think it's very crucial that as we are ending one year and getting ready to start another, we need to start making those things in order. And you talked about the financial house, getting our financial house in order. Can you just expound? I know you have some points that you want to share with everyone. And for those who are just joining, thank you so much. We are here with Tiara, and she is talking about bridging the wealth gap. We're talking about money, and she's given us just a few points on some things that we can do to be better financially prepared or responsible with our money so that we won't spend all that we get and have a hole in your pocket, like grandma used to say. Every time you get something, it's gone. You spend it so quick. You know, yeah, I see you laugh. Good grandma used to tell me, my grandma told me, you got holes in your pocket. Every time you get paid, every time you get money, it's you're literally spending it, and then you don't have anything left. So I want you to talk about getting that financial house in order. I think that's a good place to land.
Teresa, I think too, we as far as the way that we think and, just going through the motions day to day, I think we kind of we don't give the amount of time that we have enough opportunity. We don't really, just hone in and say, okay, if I start this today, I may not have everything set in stone. I may not have all of the finances. I may not have, the job that I want. But if I set into place a plan for today, and I create, like you said, a small vision of where it is that I'm trying to go, because you got to know the vision, and you got to know what your mission is. That's going to be different for every individual. And what I always encourage everyone to do, what is your mission? What do you want to do? Building your financial house, tracking your spending, tracking your finances. All of these things that we're going to talk about on tonight are very, very good, but they're useless if you don't know what it is that you're trying to do, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So for the year of 2023, some people may say, I just want a little bit more money in the bank. When I open up my bank account, I want to be able to see a good amount in there to where I'm comfortable. For some individuals, it might be home ownership. For the year of 2023 or within the next 2 years, the next 24 months, 36 months, I want to build a house, or I want to buy a home, for my family. That may be a vision for some. For others, who are just starting out as far as building their finances, it may just be to pay off some debt. You could just be graduating from college. You could just be starting a new job. And you just say, hey, look, I just want to pay off my debt. I want to be debt free. So everybody's vision is different. So before you attempt to put any type of plan in place for your money, you have to know where you're going. That's a part of building your financial house. So say to yourself, what is it that I really want to achieve? What have I been struggling with? Minus the lack of finances, minus the complaints about needing more money. What is it that I need to focus on for this new year? From there, we can then develop a plan to, get your financial house in order. You can then start putting those essential steps into place to get you to where you have to go. As far as building, as we have been saying, it's so important to do the basics. So when it comes to tracking your finances, when it comes to building your financial house, when it comes to putting those essential steps into place, as I stated, you want to know what it is that you have going out on a monthly basis, and you want to know what you have coming in, just to kind of expand upon the topic that we're on now. So if you know on a monthly basis, I have $2,000 coming in from my job. You don't have to be rich, but you have to know I have $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 after the government takes all of their taxes, after you have all of your money coming out for whatever those expenses may be, we know what 401k, all of that. What is left? What are you bringing home? So if that's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, boom, okay, we know what it is that's coming in. So now what we need to do is we need to make a plan for what it is that's going out. Most of us, we pay rent or we have a mortgage. We have the essential bills that's not going to change. We got light bill, you got water bill, gas bill, those essentials, what I call, the things that we need versus the things that we want. So go ahead and list those things out. And like I said, you don't need some fancy, planner. You don't have to go out and buy anything to do this. Just get you a plain old piece of paper and write those things out. Now, these are the essentials. Once we get the essentials down pat, then we can see, okay, once my mortgage is paid, once my car note, my transportation is taken care of, that's to get me where I have to go, get my family where we have to go on a daily basis. Once all of my bills are taken care of, now we will see what is left. And like I said, Teresa, so many people on a monthly basis overlook this step. When we get our check, guess what? Listen, that upcoming weekend, we're ready to go. Oh, girl, I've been working hard. I'm ready to go get my nails done. I'm ready to go get my toes done, my hair. Listen, we're making appointments for everything. But like I said, we're not taking the time out to sit down and see what it is that we need to pay first. And then once we do that, okay, now I can plan a dining out experience for myself and my family for the weekend. We can now take that trip to Dave and Buster's. We can now, go to the putt shack. We can have a golf night or whatever it is that you do for entertainment on a monthly basis that you like to do. So yeah, let's get that in order first and foremost. You separate your miscellaneous purchases from those expenses that you have to have. These are what I need to survive. And then you just go from there.
That's good. I was sitting here thinking as you were talking, I was like, yeah, we need a entertainment budget. You need to put some money to the side and say, okay, this month I'm going to spend X amount of dollars for entertainment, whatever entertainment can be. You should have a self-care slide. This month I'm going to spend X amount of dollars to take care of self. Like I'm going to take a day to go to the spa. That may be like $150. I'm guessing, but have those things in place. But after you make sure that your necessities are done. But you are so right. Sometimes when we get that paycheck, we pay. I hope we are paying our tithes first, and then we're looking like, okay, bloop bloop bloop. I'm about to go here, there, and then by the next day, the whole shebang is just gone. And so I've been there before, have done it very many times. And now being a single woman and with her own home and having her own things, being an entrepreneur has allowed me to make sure, hey, listen, you can't just party and do all those types of things. It's a little bit different for you now until you get to that place where you don't have to worry about it. Right now, my biggest thing is to build up that bank account, to build up that savings, to build up those things. Like I'm having a priority. I may be jumping out into your notes, but it's like my priority is to do some other things. And so this conversation is good. This is good. This is helpful. And I hope that those who are listening live and watching the replay are just grabbing some tools and some wisdom in this season, because I do believe that this conversation is so needed. And I do believe that God is telling us these things to help us get to a place where he is trying to say, listen, I need you to get into this financial stability place. I need you to get in this financially secure place. I'm giving you the steps. I'm giving you the tools. I'm sending you people for free, resources for free, who are able to help you if you just do and take the knowledge and the wisdom. And some of it, listen, some of this stuff, girl, we already know, we're just not doing. And so it's like, okay, I've been telling you to save. I've been telling you to budget. You got to do it. It's time for you to put those things in place. So I'm excited. I'm excited. So let's keep going. We're talking about bridging the wealth gap and having some different plans and things in place. What other tools and tips do you have for us this evening?
I am so glad that you did jump into my notes, because that easily helps me to transition to our next point. So once we sit down and we're able to take a realistic look at our finances, where we're creating that plan to track where it is our money is going for the month of December. We're going to get started this month. We're not going to wait until January. We're going to create a realistic monthly budget, Teresa. Like I said, my budget is a whole lot different from your budget. You know what it is that you have as far as obligations. You know what it is that you have, as far as what it takes to make your household run smoothly on a monthly basis. And so that's different for everybody. So we have to create a realistic budget for ourselves. And so once we are able to do that, as I was saying, we can really just kind of get a realistic look at where it is that our money is going, to pour that back in there. And then also we'll know what it is that we need to do to actually meet our monthly financial goals. So with that being said, we want to make sure that whatever it is, as far as spending is concerned, like you said, for entertainment, if we're going to set aside $150, $200, okay, I know I eat out maybe 4 to 5 times a week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I want to incorporate that into our finances. I used to always tell my clients when I sat down with them, don't tell me what it is that you think I want to hear, because this is not for me. It's for you to be successful. And so what we want to do, we want to create realistic expectations that we can actually meet, because psychology tells us if we set realistic goals, we meet those goals, it will help propel us forward to continue to build what it is that we're trying to build, to continue to achieve what it is that we're trying to achieve. So set that realistic monthly budget. If we say, okay, I've been spending $200 to $300 eating out, if I've been spending $200 to $300 on entertainment, and it's very easy. Teresa, things are so expensive. Our necessities have gone up tremendously in the last couple of years. We went from a pandemic where people were being laid off, people were at home, some people did not know where their next check was going to come from. We went from that into a period of inflation. And now we're getting ready to go back into a recession. So when I tell you things, it's so important. Like, we were having this conversation back in 2019, and we're just like, okay, we never knew that we were going to be hit so rough, with the pandemic, to where, like I said, people were just out of work for long periods of time. That included my household as well. I was laid off from a job in 2019, 2020. So it happens. Life is going to happen. We know these things, and so we can't really say, well, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know. You have to prepare. Again, success is where preparation meets opportunity. So whether you know or not what's going to happen in the next couple of years, you sitting down, beginning to track your finances, beginning to put a budget in place for your family, to say, hey, look, we're going to cut back on this. We are currently enjoying a lifestyle, and that there's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself. But Teresa, I don't know about you, I find it so much more pleasurable to be able to enjoy myself after I've achieved what it is that I've needed to achieve. So if I set a budget for this month and I say, okay, I'm going to make sure all of the bills are paid first. I'm going to pay my tithes first. Of course, I'm going to give my 10%. I'm going to make sure that all of my bills are paid. And then after that, whatever is left, because we still have to put something in savings. I'm not trying to jump ahead of myself. We still have to save. I'm going to designate a certain amount for entertainment. Again, most people get paid on a weekly and bi-weekly basis. And then you have those that get paid on a monthly basis. Are the educators, people in the school system, those individuals. So your money, those are things that you can expect. Like, you know exactly what that's going to look like. So, hey, listen, instead of the $300-400 that I've currently been spending on dining out and miscellaneous purchases, entertainment, we're going to cut that in half. Because again, we are going into a recession. So we have to keep that in mind. We cannot just continue to move like these things aren't happening, and we have to be in tune to the things that we're being told. People are preparing right now for the worst. Food is so expensive. So guess what? If I don't have a job in the next 6 months, because we're also getting ready to go into that period now. I've been reading about it. Companies are being incentivized to lay people off. We're going into what the government calls a forced recession because we're in a period of inflation. So if I don't have a job in the next 5 to 6 months, how will I be able to survive? What does my expenses look like? Will I be able to take care of my essentials? What does my bank account look like? What does my savings account look like? So all of that is a part of starting your monthly budget, tracking your finances to know where it is that you're going. Success is where preparation meets opportunity. So we're putting things in place to be successful for the things that we can see and the things that we may not see.
Mhm. That's good. That's good. And as I'm listening and looking at an entrepreneur lens as a full-time entrepreneur, it raises questions like, about, businesses and how it will be in the next couple of weeks or months. It just raises questions. And I do believe, again, like I said, as I started, I do believe that God is preparing us or allowing us to have this period of getting ready because he wants us prepared for when things do happen. And so as an entrepreneur or any entrepreneurs who are listening, if you have to go and get a 9 to 5 or you have to go and do some things part-time on the side and work your business, I mean, it may be tough, it may be rough, but you do what you need to do in order to make sure that you and your family can survive, to make sure that you're able to stay afloat of things. And so that's why I say, it's all about getting things paid down, things in order, bank accounts, having things ready, savings accounts, building those things, doing what you need to do so that you are prepared for if and when anything jumps off. Everybody's been talking about recession for a long time. This is nothing new. Everybody's been talking about going back into a pandemic. This is nothing new. We've been in a pandemic for a while now. And so, it raises questions. And if you're not having those questions, oh God, I hear you. If you're not having those questions, we really need to focus and hone in. And because I'm a kingdom influencer, I heard God say, about Issachar and how the sons of Issachar were able to discern the times so they could know, get the revelation on what to do. They weren't able to just say, oh, this is happening. They can see it happen, but they knew what to do. They knew what their next step is. And I believe that God has been giving us clues and things and giving us resources and tools to help us get prepared and get ready for what's next. Whether that next may be a good or bad season, he's getting us prepared for the next. We have to be able to discern the times and get the revelation. We know what's coming. It's not like, people are talking about a recession. Some people say we're already in it, and yeah. So, people are saying different things. If you're watching around your surroundings, it's very important that we are aware to what's going on around us. But if you are watching the news and listening to certain things, people are already saying about the recession and things like that. And so I believe that God is saying, hey, I'm putting some things, if you just make these small little adjustments here and there to get you ready for what's next. So that's good, Tiara.
Yes, and with that being said, Teresa, because we don't know the projection of where we'll be in the next 5 months, 6 months, in the next 2 to 3 months, sometimes even in the next 30 days, we don't know where life will take us. I think it's so important to start thinking with that mentality. What is it that I can do right now? Even if I can only set aside a certain amount after my essentials are taken care of, after all of my bills are paid, we want to start putting things in place to where we can start building that savings. Build that savings. And that brings me to our third point. Even if it takes time, we really have to start saving money. And people don't realize the importance of actually starting and getting that into place, because guess what? When we get paid We may spend everything. We're okay. I get paid again in the next 2 weeks. We're counting down the days to our next payday. To be able to take care of what we need to take care of, or just to be able to have another flow of money coming in. So with that, like I said, it doesn't have to be a huge amount. Well, I don't have, $500 to $600 to put aside. Okay, put $50 back. $50. 25. But I feel like we can do so much better than that. We have to be intentional about saving, and we have to make it a priority. With this particular bullet, I like to call it paying yourself first. Before you pay your bills, before you set aside money, or you start making payments on the power bill, the mortgage, set aside some money to pay yourself first. Put some money into your savings account. Make that mandatory so you can start building your emergency fund. As I stated, life happens to everyone. We don't know what will be our situation in the next upcoming months. So if we have something that we can dip into, and let me just bring it home. Teresa, how many times have we had a family member pass away unexpectedly? And they may not have what they need, or we have to drop everything and we have to travel to a different place, or somebody gets sick and we are the only individual that's there to be able to provide that care. How many times have we had something happen to our vehicle, our transportation, to get back and forth to where we need to go, to get our family back and forth to where we need to go? Whether that be tires, whether that be, just our maintenance, our, just regular maintenance on the car, or just something just happens. It always happens again. Look, people say at the worst times, right? When we don't have anything saved up to put towards those expenses. And it just puts us further and further into the hole. And what I want to encourage, especially, our people, sometimes when we're not preparing, and when we're in those seasons where we have more, because God does bless us to where, sometimes we're able to just say, get a extra check, or sometimes, income tax time is coming up. I'll use that as a perfect example. And we're able to get that extra money, or see that large deposit into our account. Teresa, that's 1 month out of the year where we have that. Or just say, I think it's a few times every year, a few months, where you get that additional paycheck. You have a long month and you'll get 3 paychecks in that month. What's wrong with putting that money to the side? Because for 6 or 7 months or 8 months out of the year, you weren't getting an additional paycheck, and you had to work with the 2 that you were getting. So like I said, sometimes we don't utilize the blessings that we have before us. Put that money to the side. Let that be the beginning of your emergency fund. And even if you take a little bit, because yes, everybody works hard. We all work hard for our money. And I'm not saying that we can't enjoy, or be able to do the things that we want to do. But like I said, just take a little bit of it and put it to the side, so that if something happens, that money will be there. So guess what? If I need tires, if I have a blowout, I can dip into this $1,000 or $2,000 that I set aside back in this and this month, and I have something that I can pull from. So now I'm not so stressed. Now I don't have to spend extra money, or go into debt, or I'm calling to borrow, money, or having to take out a loan and add to what's already, it could be a stressful financial situation. So those are some things that, we just need to take a look at and try to do better within the new year.
Yeah, just like listening to everything and just like, man, this is so good. This is good and it's heavy, because even as I'm listening, there are things that I know that I need to do. Is like I've said, I gotta build up this savings, and I've been building. I've dipped and I've gotten in there, and I needed it for an emergency, and I gotten it down, and it went back up, and so it happens, and so it's like, okay, we have to be, like you said, that extra check, that extra money, that extra expense, that bonus, those things like that. We need to make sure that we're using those resources, using those financial resources in the correct way than going splurging. Again, it's good to buy yourself something every now and then, or it's good to, do something out of the ordinary because you do deserve it. We work hard for what we do. We are hardworking women and men, but it's also good to make sure that you are financially secure. So putting some of that to the side, putting some of that back is going to be very imperative. And even for me, if any entrepreneurs are listening, some of the things that I am currently working on is trying to, once I get that overflow of those overflow sales, or meeting that overflow goal, all of that overflow goes into my savings. Or I heard oh my goodness, I can't quote who it was, but they gave us a formula for our business, and it was 10, 10, 10, 70. And 10 was your tithe, 10 was your pay, 10 was your investment in your business, and then you live off the 70%. So it's like you're putting something back into you and something back into your business. So it was 10, 10, 10, and then 70 out of your sales. And so for me, sometimes I may get paid daily, whether it's $50 or $30 or something, because I tutor as well as coach. So some of my tutoring clients, they may pay me every time they have a session. So for me, that's like maybe a $45 or $30 sale or something like that. And so once I put that $350 aside for the tithe, then yeah, I can put that other, $350. I can put it. I have multiple accounts. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, even I wouldn't even just say it as that. I think as an individual, as ourselves, we need multiple accounts. Mm-hmm. Banking accounts or savings accounts or whatever the case may be, so we can put money in different places so it won't just store in our main account. Because for me, if I see extra money in my main account,
yes, ma'am. Right.
Right. Amazon, swiping, and so it's so important that we really just kind of make sure that we are, for me, I'm using that formula for me, and making sure that I stick to what I'm doing, but also, again, paying myself, reinvesting in my business, making sure God has his first, and live off of that 70%. And if I get the overflow, then all that overflow needs to go to another account, not staying in my main account. Because for me, if it's in my main, I feel like I have extra money. I can just go and do whatever I want to do with it. But this is so good. And I don't know if it's helping anybody else, but it is helping me. We had another queen a couple of weeks ago who came in, and she talked about the money mindset. And so this, on top of these practical tools that we are getting from you, man, it's just amazing how God does things. And he does things in his timing. And so he's been like, again, he's been sharing with me, hey, it's time to get prepared for, what's next. Well, we don't know what's next. We can only go by, things that we hear and see, but we know that we need to get prepared. We get prepared for the new year. We get prepared for certain things. And God is just like, listen, financially, one of the things I love about HR, our ministry, is that we are holistic. We don't just focus on the spiritual part of us. We want to get people whole in every area: health, mental clarity, finances, if you looking to level up and get a home, relationally, we are focusing on many aspects. And so this financial piece, we cannot gloss over. I think, again, with it being the 5th day of December, this is a good time to get our financial house in order, a good time to have those consultations, or just take, let me say this, have those consultations with financial advisors, getting financial advisors, making sure that we have certain things in place, life insurance, medical care, and all those types of things, so that when unexpected expenses or things happen, we won't have to go and borrow and get a loan and things like that, and get, like you said, get ourselves in further in debt. I do believe that this is a great time to now look at our financial, where we are financially, and see how we can move the needle forward, see how we can move that savings account forward. If we don't even have a savings account, the first step is going to open it. Like, if you open that bad boy, you are making a step to your financial future. It may be zero balance right now, but the fact that you went out and you opened it and you're stepping out on faith, and you want to change the trajectory of your generational, your wealth for you and your family, the fact that you go out and did that first step is meaning that if you can do that first one, God will take you to the next one. And so if it's putting $5, putting $10, putting $20, putting $50, putting your bonus, putting this, putting that inside of there, you'll start watching that money grow. And you'll be like, wow, God, all I did was take that first step, and now I see the overflow. So if my car gets messed up, or if I need to, or I want to help my child out with something, or somebody, if I want to be a blessing to somebody, I don't know, whatever you choose to do, you have that extra money as a resource for you. And so I am just excited about all of the things that have been shared on tonight, all of the next steps. So many people, I don't know where you guys may be in this financial journey, but if it's to get a savings account and to get that $1,000 saved, man, you can do it. There's so many money challenges out there. Like, they have these challenges where you do like $1 a day or something like that. You put $1 aside a day, and then the next day maybe $2 or something like that. That may be a good challenge, for you to do. Also, too, get around people who are talking about money.
Amen.
I think, and I have to say this, as Christians, we talk about money, and we look at it. Money is the root of all evil. The love of money. Money is the answer to many things. You can't do without it. I think it's the love of it. The love of it is what the Bible says. It is that can destroy us. But we need to have these conversations. We need to have, like, for me, we need to have these financial conversations, especially if it wasn't modeled in your household, or especially if especially if you didn't have someone sit down with you and say, hey, this is what you do. This is how you do. This is what you need. This is what you don't need. If you didn't have those conversations growing up, and you just kind of learned it along the way, to change the trajectory, I'm always thinking forward. So I'm thinking about the people in my family behind me and the generation and stuff behind me. So what can I do now that's going to fix my my niece or my nephew or my children or my cousin, or what can I do to be a better asset so that they won't make the same mistakes that I did. And so I think the time is now. I think the time is now for us to get financially prepared for whatever we want. I think that our dreams, our desires can be had and can be made if we prepare and plan properly. You started off saying putting it on paper. If we just sit down, we make time for everything else, but we don't make time to plan our money. We don't make time to plan out things. We make time to plan out that trip with our girlfriends. We make time to plan out what we're going to cook for dinner tonight. We make time to plan out what we're going to wear on the date for the weekend. We make time for those things. I'm being real. We make time for those things, girl, but we don't make time to sit down and plan out the things that really matter, like our financial stability. And I believe God is raising up a call, not just in this area, in many areas, to get stable and secure, but we need to do that in our finances. God is calling a lot of us to do more than what we can ever do, and we are going to need the finances to do it. And yeah, angel investors are great and all of those types of things, but we need to know how to handle the 1,000 before we get the 10,000. And we need to know how to handle the 10,000 before we get the 100,000. It's levels to this thing. Come on, somebody. It's levels to this thing. We got to know how to handle on each step. So God can bless us with a lot of money, but that's why we hear so many stories about people winning the lottery, and then they lose it within a year because they just went and lavishly spent out on everything and bought all of these different types of things. Tiara, I'm so sorry. I just feel like this is what God is telling me. They spend all of these, get all of these things, these cars, these Ferraris, and they ball out. And then 2 years later, they got to go get a job, And so this is real, but he's given us steps. He's given us steps to get to the where we want to be, the millionaire, the multimillionaire, or the 6-figure maker, or whatever your financial goals are, or to have that million in the bank, or to have that 500,000 in the bank, or 8,000, wherever your level is. He's getting us prepared. How can we handle the big bucks if we can't even handle where we are right now? So I do believe that, this whole conversation, God is so intentional. And even if it's just for me, he's so intentional. He's so intentional about what he's saying and what he's doing and how he's putting things up and getting us set up for the next thing. He's so intentional. It's the thing, it's the point of us really listening. Are we really listening? Are we really hearing what he's saying in this season to us? Or are we just letting things go haphazardly? Like we hear it and it's like, oh, well, yeah. And we keep going on to the next. I think God is really having us sit down and just kind of like sit in this stability thing and really get ourselves together for where he wants us to go. I'm going to pass this off to you, Tiara. Listen, for those of you who are watching, thank y'all so much. If you have questions for Queen Tiara on today, as we're talking about money, bridging the wealth gap, go ahead and drop those in the chat. Oh my goodness, my phone is going dead. Go ahead and drop them in the chat, and I'll make sure that we get those answers to you. And Tiara's going to leave us with a couple of more things, and then we'll take questions, and she's going to tell us how we can get in contact with her. So I'm going to pass it back over to her while I go and get my charger. I'm listening. I'm right. It's just right there.
Hi, Teresa, man, listen, the money mindset, I feel like I think that's it. I think that's a good vision, a good, just overall outlook of what we need to take into 2023. Like we said, we want to put small steps into place to be able to exhibit that model behavior, not just for ourselves, the things that we do, the small things that we're going to do to make those improvements for this month and on up into the next coming months. It's not just for us, but it's for our families as well. I know we talk about we are in a place of where somebody says something and then, everybody catches on to it and it just becomes so popular in the virtual world. I'm like, it would just be so amazing if we could actually take some of these things and put it into place in real life. Like, it's great to talk about it on social media. I know one of those things are, breaking generational curses that took off a couple of years ago. And I'm just like, it's such a heavy, such an amazing thing to be able to be that black sheep, to be able to be that leader for those coming behind you or for your family. But what are some things that we can do to get ourselves in order to be able to be that reliable headship? I know we have, listen, that the specific family member that everybody calls for everything. I think that each individual, if you're listening and you're on this live, you need to stay with us. I don't think it's just by chance that you just happen to tune in. You need to be that individual that's going to take control of your financial house so you can show your family how to do that. Because, like I said, we're in a time period where so many people are struggling just to make ends meet. So many people are struggling just for their essentials. And so we want to do everything, Teresa, everything that you said. Listen, if you don't have a savings account set up, it's okay. There's no judgment. This is a judgment-free phone. But let's go ahead and get it set up so that we can start putting just a little bit back. And like you said, once we log in and we start seeing the progress, the fruits of our labor, right? We can start making our goals bigger. Okay, I'm here, I'm dedicating this certain amount every single month. So now it's time to make this thing bigger. Now it's time to make the vision bigger. I've accomplished this step, but now I can tell somebody else, okay, this is what I did to get started. That's having a good money mindset. So whoever came on and talked about that, being wealthy, being rich, all of those things start with your mindset first. We have to get out of these poor mentalities. When we change our minds, we change our life. It has absolutely nothing to do with money. You have people right now that have a whole lot of money, but their mindset and their life is in complete and total chaos. Say we want to hone in and we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we need to do to make sure that we're good financially, mentally, that we're happy. We're happy. We have a vision for ourselves, we have a vision for our children, we have a vision for our households, and that we're being successful in whatever level and whatever season of life that we're in. Everything that you said, it was so relevant and it was so good. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Yes, money is so important. It meets so many needs. We're able to not only change lives when we're able to do more or able to pour into individuals, but we're able to, as I said, just create a stable foundation for those coming behind us. And that really needs to be the focus. That really needs to be the focus. So as you're listening, I need you to be thinking about, we need you to be thinking about, and this is for us as well, what small steps can we put in place? It doesn't have to be a whole lot. Let's open up that savings account. Let's pay off that one thing. What is the lowest debt that I have? Is it a medical bill? Is it $100? Start. Get that sense of satisfaction, Teresa, because statistics tells us whatever we do, whatever it is that we focus on, is it for a 21-day period? Let's go even further. Let's make it 30 days. Whatever it is that we're focused on for the next 30 days, from December the 5th to January 5th, we're going to focus on that. We're going to make that the priority. And then once we get that into place, this is a strong plan. We're building our financial house. It takes time. It takes small steps. Once we get that in place, then we can move on to bigger things. So yes, I absolutely love it. But definitely for the sake of time, I just want to go ahead and throw out these last few bullet points that I have. And I think that also brings us into our next topic about creating a strong financial house, being realistic with our goals and putting small steps into place so that we can be okay financially, not just on social media, not just, in real life. We can be okay in real life. And we can help other people as well as we start to build and God starts to elevate us more. But just another small step, just pay your bills on time. Let's start doing that. And I think this is something that if we can't, put $1,000 aside this month, we have so many obligations that we have to meet in the month of December. Not only are we preparing for the new year, but a lot of people, they're celebrating the holidays, they're traveling. Families are, we're in and out of different places. So we're spending a lot more. But these are some things, as I stated, this is a new month. We're 5 days in. So what can I do to get myself in a good mindset? Listen, Teresa, look, most people, when January comes, we've had such a good time. We're focused on weight. We're focused on, okay, what is it that I can do to do this and that? Listen, start. It's that one day at the gym, just to use that as an example. We just gonna start. We gonna start tomorrow, right? Start tomorrow, get it done. It's the same thing with your money. Like it is when it comes to getting physically fit. Just start. We're gonna start paying our bills on time. Again, everything just flows into each other so beautifully. Once we track our finances, we see what it is that we're supposed to be paying on a monthly basis. We set aside some money for ourselves. We paid our tithes first. Let's start paying those bills on time. It's those obligations. A lot of times, Teresa, we pray for these things that we have, these obligations that we have. We pray for the house. We pray for the car. We pray to be able to be approved for the line of credit or the loan, and we work so hard to get there. But then oftentimes when we get there, we neglect the obligations that we paid for because we're so busy doing other stuff. So let's start, like you said, when you're faithful with the little bit that you have, when you're a good steward over the little bit that God blesses you with, then we can talk about the bigger house. Then we can talk about the dream car. Then we can talk about setting aside money to send our kids to college. But let's be good stewards over the bill money first, because so many people don't have that. They don't have that. So yes, let's automate those bills. I'm making it a challenge. It's not about if or when. Just start with one. I'm gonna automate my light bill. I'm gonna automate the lowest bills that you have. We're not talking about the Netflix and the Hulu that don't count. Those don't count. We're talking about the essentials. Listen, listen, like we had that coming out every single month. Let's put the light bill on.
Girl, you crushing toes, honey.
on
My.
bills on automation, right? Like, right. So we can really start seeing some impact. We can come up with a million different excuses as to why it is we can't do the things that we really need to do. But unless we get out of that, unless we get out of that mindset of what we can't do or making excuses about why we can't do this and that, or like you said, we find a way to do everything else. We find that money to be able to go out to eat. We find that money to be able to go on vacation. We'll find it. So let's start doing the essentials. Let's put some bills on automation so that eventually, listen, when that mortgage is coming out, when that light bill is coming out, it won't be so much of a shock. This is what I expect every single month. My bills to be paid on time. Those things come first before anything else, before any miscellaneous things. I will put it like that. So yeah, pay those bills on time. And not only will it help you as far as a sense of obligation and creating a financial plan going forward, it'll help. A lot of us, we're still working on our credit, and they will tell you before you can focus on buying a house, or set the vision out to become a homeowner, or to get that car. Sometimes you have to get that credit in line first. So the little things that we do as far as our finances, what we know is already coming in, that'll help us in other areas to be able to build our credit when we start paying that credit card bill on time, or that loan on time, paying it off, seeing what it is that we owe and making it our business to pay off that debt. We incurred the debt, so let's pay it off. And then I know a lot of people in this season, a lot of people are getting things forgiven. I'm like, the student loans, were being forgiven. I think the business loans from the pandemic, a lot of people got those things forgiven. So that's a sense of, that obligation you no longer have. So we can take that money and put it towards something else. If Biden was able to forgive your student loan, or you were able to get your student loan forgiven, let's be a good steward in another area and say, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I'm paying off any other debt that I have, any hospital bills, any old credit cards. I'm paying those things off, and I'm being a good steward over what it is that I have as far as your monthly obligations. So I think that is so important.
Yeah, girl, that was some good meat. That was good. Listen, I'm gonna jump in about those subscriptions. I am convicted. There are some things that I'm paying for that I really do not use. And it's so funny that you said that, because I was sitting here thinking like, I need to cut that off. That 1099 can be on something else. You hear me? Why am I paying 1099 and I am not using that service? It is time to cut it. You hear me?
It's so the conversation that we're able to have, because I could listen, everything that you're saying, you're literally bringing up every single point in my next my next
Wow.
point. It's so amazing. I love being able to do this with you. I love being able to talk to you. I absolutely love it. But yes, I do agree. I do agree. We gonna cut out the things that we don't need. I know during the time period that I was with my husband and we were just starting out, there was a time period where we were not paying for cable for the longest. We didn't have it. And you know what? We went without it for so long. It wasn't even it was
Yeah.
noticed, like it was something that we didn't miss. And so that money, we were able to take that money and put it towards other things.
Mhm.
So yeah, seeing how you can cut your expenses, seeing how you bringing me into my next point. So I absolutely love it. I was just about to ask you, I'm like, did you take a look at my notes? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's happening here?
This is conversations between Daddy God and I. So some of the things that that's dropping in my spirit are things that he has had me reevaluate in the last few weeks. And seriously, like, why am I paying for this service and I do not watch it? Like, I don't watch a lot of TV anyway. So I had it at the time when at the time when I had some people with me here at the house. But listen, now it's like I don't even use that. Why? Disney Plus is not, I don't even use that. So why do I still have it? And so it's really like, hey, you need to, that money that you're spending, you need to cut that off. If you're not, it's a waste. You're just giving money away, giving it away.
It's so good. And that was literally my next topic. I did not share my notes with her. It is amazing how you are just I bring home with everything. But yes, that was gonna be my next point, to cut out any reoccurring charges and anything that it is that you're not using, where money is going every single month. Try to cut back. For a lot of us, for those that say, okay, well, I don't have any additional money after we've paid all of our bills, and that may be true for some, but I know, Teresa, like I said, those few trips that we make to Starbucks, that money that we spend eating out, and eating out has no expense. People are saying people are saying that now, in this time frame, I've heard some people say, oh well, eating out is less than it is to go buy groceries. But I kind of refuse to believe that. I really do. I think what it is, we're just so stuck in our ways, and we're so stuck in our mess, and it's so convenient. And it is. It's so convenient when you're just going through the motions, the hustle and bustle. So convenient to be able to eat out. It's so convenient to be able to stream, and now some people have been able to cut the cable bill, but with all of the reoccurring charges that it is for the Hulu and the Netflix and the Disney Plus, and you got all these, the Paramount, you got all of these different things, it's adding right back up. So not only that, I had someone call me, I think from Sirius XM, trying to
Mhm.
get subscribed. That was just this past week. And I told them, I'm like, no, I just bought a new car. I don't want it. I'm like, if you give it to me 3 months for free, I'll take the trial period, but I'm not giving you my car information because
Right,
most of the
right.
car I'm listening to YouTube or something like that anyway. So there's no point in me subscribing. You're not about to talk me into it. But yes, see what it is that you can cut back on. To be able to free up some money. And even if you can go a period without those things, just let that be a period in which you're focused on something else. So we have to make sacrifices, Teresa. When it comes to building any, I know you yourself, you're a new homeowner. When it came to buying your home, I know you had to make some sacrifices. It was the same thing with us when we purchased our home back in 2019. We had to make hard sacrifices. We had to cut some things out. We had to do no spending challenges on a regular basis. Okay, we're not going to spend no money this month, and we had to stick to it. So where is cut back on cut back on money? I used to see this a lot too when I was working in banking, and I've been in the banking and the finance industry for a long period of time because I just love talking about it. I think these conversations are so needed, and they're needed more than what we set aside time to talk about it. Because, like I said, people are really struggling, but people used to call in all the time. They're just like, I need to stop this, I need to stop that. My first question is, did you reach out to that company? This is the obligation that you set. We have no jurisdiction to come in and cut this off. This was when you sign those terms and conditions, and you obligated to pay that $39.99 or that $49.99 or $10, you know, whatever it is that is, you have to call and get that cut off first, and then we can talk about getting your money back. So yeah, all of those unnecessary things, let's go ahead and cut that out for the new year, and
Yeah.
then maybe see an extra $200. You will be surprised when you start looking at what's coming out on the monthly basis, how much you have in free money or how much you could have in free money to be able to go ahead and get that emergency fund started. Because like I said, that's what's important.
Yeah.
We've probably every movie on Netflix. We've probably watched it in some form or fashion. There's nothing wrong with being able to indulge, especially like I said, if you're cutting out on entertainment. But these are just for the ones that say, I don't know where I'm going to get the extra money to be able to save, or, I don't have anything in addition. Let's go ahead and start cutting out some of those recurring charges. And then also, these are some things that you need to do as well. When it comes to trying to tracking your finances and taking a look, don't just let your bills come out. Even though we're creating a budget, even though we're automating our obligations, look at your bills every month. There could be something that you're getting charged for, and you don't even know it. I just for myself, I just had to call my phone company because they thought that they were going to tack on an extra $60 in charges, and I checked them right then and there. I asked them, I'm like, where are the charges? Where are they coming from? This extra $60, because when I first got this phone plan, you said that my bill was going to be a set amount every single month. So I have this thing on automation, and you guys are taking out 60 extra dollars. So where's the money coming from? And they couldn't tell me. Oh, it was a mistake. See where it is that your money is going.
Good.
But you never know. You
That's
never know where the extra money could come from.
That's good. That is good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you definitely, especially if you're automating, you should always look at your bills and see, what is what and how much is coming out, and if something is getting added that you didn't know of. It's so important that we check and just go behind ourselves and check and double check and making sure that we are crossing all T's and dotting all I's, so that we can make sure that we are doing what needs to be done to make sure that we're financially stable and secure, and that we're not getting cheated on or anything like that. And so, oh my goodness, so many good nuggets, so many great points. Listen, if you are just joining, you have missed. Oh my goodness, Queen Tiara she's just poured into us. So I encourage you, if you're just joining in, you're a little late, go back and watch the replay. We are actually wrapping up this session, but I am excited because this queen will be back with us in April of 2023. Yes, in April of 2023, we are having our first in-person conference since 2018, and Tiara will be one of our guest speakers, and she will be again pouring out her wisdom and knowledge about finances and bridging that wealth gap as well at our conference. And so we're excited. If you want to know more about the conference and what's going on, you can go to our website, www.helloroof.org, to know more about that. You can inbox me, you can write me, I can get you connected. Early bird tickets are now or have been on sale for quite a while. We've announced a few of the speakers. And so I'm announcing now that Tiara will also be there, coming and just dropping her wisdom on those who are at the conference in April. And so we are excited about what God is doing. I'm excited about what he's doing in this ministry. I'm excited, Tiara, about what he's doing with you. You came on and you were very transparent. You talked about some things that you have been going through and all those types of stuff that we all are experiencing. If I can be honest, I am too, experiencing some challenges. But it's the fact that we know our purpose, we know our mission, we know what we're here to do. And one of those things that we're here to do is to encourage and to empower and to help anyone who comes across our path to be better. And what Tiara has just poured out is how we can be better financially fit in our finances. If you are just joining, listen, please go back and watch this replay. I believe that I know you, those of you who've been on here since the beginning, you've been taking notes. She's been sharing some gems, some things with us. And one of the biggest thing I can glean from this is that she said, start today, no matter where you are, whether you have a savings account, whether you do a budget or you don't know, start today, start somewhere, make it plain, know what's coming in and know what's going out. And I say that because I always look again as an entrepreneur lens. I say that because we need to know what's coming into our in our bank account, where the money is coming from, know what's coming in, but definitely know what's going out and how much is going out. She poured so much. She talked about checking your records for those of you who are automating the importance, which is amazing. Making sure that you're not getting charged or fees or anything added to your bills. Very important that you go back and check those. But most importantly, man, she said, just start somewhere. I do believe that we are in a time where God is again warning us, or again making it very important, or a message to us to get prepared for whatever is next. And if we are dreaming big and we want the millions and the thousands and all of that, we need to be able to handle where we are. We need to be able to know what to do when it comes. We need to be able to have something saved for a rainy day. We need to be financially ready for whatever and wherever we may be tomorrow, next week, or next year. Listen, Tiara, I would love for you to give our listeners your contact information. If they want to know more about what you do or how you can better assist them, you can give them phone numbers, email address, any information that they can connect with you, and let us know what's coming. Well, we already know you're coming to our conference, so we know that's coming, but keep us in the loop with what's happening next.
Definitely. I'm so excited to be able to come together and fellowship with everyone that will be there at the conference. As I told you, Teresa, I'm going to make sure that everybody that I'm connected to on my end, who can be there is going to be there, or who can commit. Like I said, hello Ruth, I have just since the beginning, I have told you that I think that what you're doing is so needed. It's so needed. And you have invested a lot of time and effort into the community. So I'm so excited that you saw fit to invite me to be a part of that. I'm so excited to be able to talk with you about, all of the money topics and be able to come on live with you. It's always a good time. But yes, if there is anything that I can be of assistance with, whether that be to just sit down and talk with you about a financial plan, if you need someone to help you put a budget in place, because sometimes we can't do things by ourselves, and I think that is what we need to focus on. Asking for help. If we need the help, we all need it. And sometimes we have everyone in our inner circle. God puts people in place in our inner circle to be able to be of assistance. So if you need help, just definitely reach out. Reach out to myself, reach out to Teresa, reach out, whether that just anybody that's responsible. You have a financial counselor, just with your financial institution, reach out and ask for help. You never know what resources are available if you don't ask. My email specifically is Tiara Gibson 1995 at gmail.com. That's where you can contact me directly. If you are wanting to have my personal cell phone number or just give me a call, you can definitely reach out to Teresa personally. You can inbox her, and then she can share that information. I know we're on a live, so never know who's listening, but I will be happy, more than happy. And then my name on Facebook, Tiara Gibson. My business is on social media as well, Facebook, Bridging Wealth Gap. If you want to reach out to me personally through social media, and then we can connect again for whatever it is, accountability, budgeting, any type of free resources. I'm connected to so many people. I would love to be of assistance in any way that I can. This year, we don't have to do it alone. We have each other to lean and glean from. So let's put the steps that we've talked about in place, the small steps in place to be able to bring the new year in, good, and then also to be able to end the year as well, even better.
Yeah, that's good. I love it. I hear community. I hear iron sharpening iron. I hear a group of people, individuals from different backgrounds getting together, coming together, and just gleaning and growing and glowing together in whatever area, whether it be financially, spiritually, emotionally, relationally. Again, that's what HR is about. We're all about holistic. And so we want you guys to be spiritually fit, but we want you to be financially fit and mentally fit and physically fit as well. And so that's why we have these conversations around certain topics about home ownership and wealth and money and all those types of things. And so I'm excited about what God is doing. I cannot wait till we have our conference. You get to see more. Hey, listen, make that investment. We have about 10 speakers coming and pouring on a variety of topics. And so financial literacy will be one of them. And so, hey, come on out and make sure that you are a part. Listen, you can find us also on YouTube, where we have a plethora of videos from our past segments where we've hosted, even with Tiara, she's been on several times before. We've hosted past segments with home ownerships, physical fitness, mental health. We talked about a lot of great mentorship, a lot of great topics. And so make sure that you get connected. Make sure that you follow us and find us. I'll drop that YouTube link in the comments so that you're able to go back. But if you search the HR, I think it's HR Ministries, you'll be able to find us. We have the H and the R with the crown on the top. And so you're able to find us on YouTube and get connected to our Let's Chat series. This is our final series of 2022, but we will be back in 2023 bigger and better like never before, coming with, again, a variety of people. I've grown my Rolodex, my people have grown, and so I may have to start doing some seminars and stuff, because I am getting to know more people who are working in the same area. And my thinking, we all come together for the greater good to share our expertise. What you may know, what you can say can, bring us together and help for a bigger cause for the greater good. And so I'm excited about what is to come. I'm excited about the conversations. I'm excited about the conference. Listen, if you're interested in working with Tiara, just hit us up. She's given us her email address and more information about her business. She will love to sit down with you and help you get on this financial stability path. Again, Tiara, we would like to thank you so much for taking out this time this evening. I know it's you're an hour ahead, right? So I know it's a little bit late where you are. And so, but I do thank you so much for taking out this time to speak with us on tonight. And those of you who are listening live, God bless you. If you're listening to the replay, God bless you and keep you. Listen, join us on Wednesday. We have our prayer call Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. We have it on the first and the third Wednesday. So those are our next two events that we will have this upcoming year. And then we will start really just focusing on our conference and dropping things and getting you guys ready for that. So make sure that you check us out, www.helloroof.org. Again, I am Sharisa T, and we are here with Tiara, and this has been an amazing conversation. Again, Tiara, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, y'all have an amazing, amazing evening, an amazing night. God bless y'all.